What's up, everybody? Dr. Trevor Wilkins, Angry Viking therapist with the Angry Viking Mindset Method. And I've got a good friend of mine known as Bear. I know his real name. You're not allowed to know it. But Bear, of both Bear Independent and Refuge Medical. And that's what I'm out here today talking with him about. He's a very good friend and a mentor of mine. As you can see, Bear from the internet, as his name tag says there.
That's right here, for those that don't know. Bear from the internet, so.
He's quite camera shy, as you can tell. One of the big things that I always push with people is that mindset is everything. Whether it's an issue that you're going through, whether it's something that you're having to do, whether it be tactical or practical, whether it be just you having to deal with being in your own mess right now. We want to get out of that. So what Bear's here doing, I'm going to let him explain exactly what it is, but with Refuge Medical, which is his company, which makes outstanding kits for trauma. I own them myself. I'm not paid to say that.
Correct.
I have multiple of them.
I believe we worked out, was it $6 per live read for you?
That was
okay,
correct.
it's $6.
Yeah.
But we haven't entered into that yet,
Yeah.
so he's doing this part for free.
There's some major corporations that cost a whole lot more. I'm only $6.
We'll get you there, bro. We'll get you.
there.
It's all good.
That's what we talked about. So, matter of fact, I have one of the tourniquets he sells in my back pocket. I carry it with me at all times, as does he. Watch this. Always, right? So, and the reason for that is staying in not only a preparedness mindset to be able to do that, but staying in mindset total, because what he's doing, again, I'll let him talk about the program a little bit more, but we are here, and if you hear gunshots in the background, we're fine. We happen to be at a shooting range because that's who we are. That's where we do training. So, and tell them a little bit about the class that's going on now, especially this 4-hour one that I know it'll apply to a lot more people. And then I'll talk in a minute about mindset about that. But what's the class about?
Of course. So this is a 4-hour Stop the Bleed, and most Stop the Bleed classes are horrendous. You'll get an instructor that doesn't really know what they're talking about, that throws a tourniquet at you and says, here's the tourniquet, play with it. We'll be back in an hour to make sure you didn't die, and give you a piece of paper with your name on it, and now you're good to go, bro. And that's not what we do. So we have a 4-hour curriculum for civilians, as well as an 8-hour curriculum. Today is the 4-hour Stop the Bleed class. We did a morning and we're in the afternoon now, and it's derived from our 8-hour TCCC curriculum, which is Tactical Combat Casualty Care. And so we take that, the tactical portion, and kind of spin that more towards civilian, because there's a lot of stuff that public safety and military has to be concerned with that civilians don't. And there's this misnomer that I really only need a trauma kit if I wear body armor for a living. And that's about 3% of like the planet Earth has done that or does do that currently. The other 97% of people are blissfully unaware of how close to death they are at any time. But if you think about statistically, the most dangerous thing that we do is drive, right? And so the first kit that we ever, our kits have saved 13 lives in 2020 that we're aware of. We have kits on 4 continents with 4 branches of the armed forces, as well as, public safety departments and agencies and civilian sheepdogs all over the world, literally all over the world, which is awesome, because 18 months ago, this business was run from my dining room table. Talk about mindset, right? And so on the civilian side, you think about the dangers of driving. Well, why does that matter? The first kit, the first life that this kit saved was a dude that was in a car crash. Femoral artery was severed by the femur in a compound fracture, and a guy behind him happened to have a bare fac, runs up to the car, applies the tourniquet, saves his life. It took EMS another 7 minutes to get there, and he would have bled out probably in about 45 to 90 seconds. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So this class takes that tactical combat casualty care, boils it down into 4-hour presentation with 2 hours of hands-on, 2 hours of classroom teaching actual trauma medicine for the civilian market. And so that's what we're doing out here at Montgomery County Shooting Complex today, and they're awesome. So if you're in Tennessee and you can get out to Montgomery County Shooting Complex, this place rocks, and they don't pay us to say that. They're good people. Would you agree?
I would, and in fact, just earlier today, we paid them.
Yes, we
so
did.
we could use their range.
Yes, we did, and it was a blast, literally.
Yep.
So, you talk a lot about mindset. That's like your gig, right? And you've been a real blessing to me on the back end, on the other side of the camera, just as far as being relatable. It's one of the things I really like about you. Is like, traditionally when I think of like a therapist, I think of somebody I'd like to scoop up out of a chair with one hand and shake them, and you're not that guy, which is awesome. But earlier, we were discussing how that mindset affects your ability to respond to what life throws towards you. And I was thinking how that plays into what we talk about at our channel, Bear Independent, about positions of strength. Like if I'm not good, there is 0% chance I can help you be good, right? And so I have to maintain me, at a very minimum maintain me, if not grow me and be a better me every day. Because if I'm trying to give you hope and I have none, I can't give you something I don't have.
Right.
If I'm trying to bring you strength and I don't have any, there's no way I can help with that, right? And I think a lot of people, and you could probably speak to this, are running around on empty, trying to help everybody else around them.
Oh,
They
yeah.
got nothing to give, and they're like, Doc, why do I feel so drained? I'm so overwhelmed, nothing's going right. And it's like, well, yeah, dude, because you are a mess. And that's okay, because you can fix the fact that you're a mess. Right, but you're a mess, and a mess can't, ordo, what is that, ordo ab chaos, right? Order out of chaos. Like, well, you're in chaos mode. How are you gonna bring order to anything else when you're in chaos mode?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It absolutely does. And just even going back to a single incident, like the very first life saved by a bear fact. Again, it's something that I own. I believe in these things. The mindset that it still has to take to go up to that wreck and see, unfortunately, you and I have been in positions where we've seen arterial bleeding. It is an oh shit moment. Is the best way I can describe it. Like you don't see it till you see it, right? It is a scary and rapid thing. And somebody is losing their life here. This is not as long as we can make it to the hospital, we'll be okay. And so it takes a mindset.
Bad.
Oh gosh, it's seconds, seconds.
80% plus of people that are involved in a traumatic bleed die before they get to the hospital, an unchecked traumatic bleed. So the idea that EMS is gonna save your life, not only does it take statistically 37 minutes across the United States, the best departments have a 6 to 7 minute response time, and you got 90 seconds of uncontrolled bleeding. If you get in the ambulance, uncontrolled bleed, there's a 1 in 5 chance that you'll actually make it even after that. So yeah, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Well, it speaks to preparedness mindset, right? Because at the beginning, if your mindset isn't prepared for the things that you will have to deal with in a physical manner, how much harder is it to be prepared for those things in a mindset in a everyday life manner? Right? Between the stimulus and the response is a big area where we decide what our mindsets are going to be. And that's not necessarily fake positive psychology. We don't put fake things in there, right? You're not going to see us tell you to be fake happy ever. If somebody's watched our channels, they got that impression to be fake happy.
I love what you say about that. It's like, if you've got that figured out, tell me, we'll write a book together and retire.
Yeah.
What you're saying on that? I'm like, no way. Like, yeah, and that, again, that's one of the things that resonates with me about you, is that you are a very real human being, and you speak from experience. Your story and your testimony that got you from where you were to where you are makes that relatable to me, and it gave me hope. Hey man, because I've gone through some stuff, right? And I took pretty much all that stuff, put it in the hurt locker, wrapped like 96 pounds of logging chain around it and a few padlocks. I'm like, I'll be okay if I can just gut it out. Turns out that crap will kill you.
It will.
So knowing that there's a way to attain that light at the end of the tunnel without having to listen to some wuss sitting across from me in a chair talk to me about feelings and positivity, and I'm like, no. So yeah, the relatability and the reality that you bring to this, I'm a huge fan. I like not fanboy, but deeds not words. Don't tell me what you're gonna do, show me what you can do, and you do it, you live it, and I think that's why people find value in what you do.
Oh, I take a lot from that. I've said before at the beginning of this that I consider Bear a mentor, which is funny because I think we both think that way.
Yeah,
but
likewise.
and because by the same token, his stuff is so relatable. I found him through a channel in which we were both looking to grow our businesses, and but also he was already doing really well in business, growing it from, like you said, sitting at the kitchen table, having to figure that out. But we were both looking for the right mindset. I remember our first discussion together on a Zoom was, I have so much going on. How do I keep my head straight? How do you keep your head straight? It's mindset. It's not fake positivity. It's mindset. And the things that I have learned from him and he's learned from me, I believe have helped change that mindset. but it's changing the mindset and having to actually go out. You can't just say, I'm going to be okay with this situation. You already have to have the mindset. And that's what things that I try to give people. It's why I created the Angry Viking Mindset Method, because I want people to have that. That saved my life. Mindset literally saved my life.
See, then there's a parallel here, because that mindset is not something you can fake your way through. And I think a lot of people think when something bad happens, whether it's acute like arterial bleeding, or you know, it's an overarching systemic issue like my brain is a mess and my heart is a mess, and if I can't figure out how to fix myself, I'm gonna end myself, right? You don't rise to your level of expectation, you fall to your level of training.
Every time.
Right? And so if you're not training, if you're not developing that mindset or those skills, you don't have a backstop when something catastrophic happens. You know, again, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, if you don't have a backstop of that training your mind or training your hands, you cannot succeed. And I think that's the real value that you bring, is teaching people how to have that tool in their toolkit, that when they face this problem, it's not that this doesn't suck. You know, the positive attitude, it's like the positive attitude is useless if you don't actually have the mindset to persevere, you know? And I think,
No, you're right on, because again, you keep hearing that word mindset. And unfortunately, I started, when I started creating this, I was trying to decide if there was a better word than mindset. And I eventually came to the conclusion, long story short, that there wasn't. But my hesitation was, so many people have ruined that word. So many people have ruined, well, if you just, if you just think positive, or you just think of the silver lining, or the fact that somebody else is going through worse, that does not help me. That does not help me. It's as dumb as telling me to take 5 deep breaths when I'm angry.
Right.
You know, what I always say is, if I'm in the kitchen slamming cabinets because I'm mad, and my wife tells me to take 5 deep breaths, I'm going down the hallway, slam the door probably twice to knock the doorbell off the wall. I've seen me do it. Right? I've seen me do it. So it's all about mindset, and we preach that word all the time, because it absolutely saved my life. I know that it's helped Bear. We've had many discussions about this as close friends. So I think that really covers kind of tactical mindset, medical mindset, and then what we have to do in ourselves, in coaching ourselves, or in finding somebody that can help you, whether it be somebody like Bear, somebody like me, or somebody else that fits your needs, to learn that mindset, because you have to learn it now to get ahead of it before the crisis comes. Or if you're already in crisis, we're going to have to get you out of that with mindset. That's all it takes. Right? So, Bear, tell them a little bit about how to find you. I want them to have that, because I believe in this person standing here. So tell them how to find you.
So we're on YouTube at Bear Independent, BearIndependent, Bear Independent. You'd be amazed how many people have a problem with that, trouble spelling, but that's okay. BEAR Independent.
What do you have to say? There's no A's in independent?
There's 0 A's in independent. Roger, that's correct. So we're here on YouTube. We talk about homesteading, preparedness, faith, geopolitics, life-saving. Our mission statement is to save lives while in service to the Father's kingdom and experiencing the abundance of His provision and blessing. And so the tools we have in the toolkit for that is Bear Independent, with preparedness, with politics, with homesteading, with faith. Then we have refugemedical.com, and Refuge Medical makes handmade, made in America, guaranteed forever, exceeds military specification blowout kits, individual first aid kits. We make everything from the little IFAC that goes on your plate carrier, your headrest, all the way to stomp bags, which is SEAL Team operational medical packs. And these things are used by the best in the business. Literally the best people in the business use these kits and swear by them, which is a complete and total honor to me. We have Refuge Training, which is an offshoot of Refuge Medical, which is what we're here doing today. We've got 7 people on our cadre, from law enforcement officers to former service members to physician's assistants and nurses, and just total badasses. Then we have grindstoneministries.com. And Grindstone is involved in the fight against human trafficking. Specifically, we are currently building a restoration facility for juvenile survivors of human trafficking. And so that's all of our touch points. That's what I'm about. And I could not do all of that if I didn't have the mindset to persevere and just, tenacious. You just have to sometimes you just got to quit. You got to stop attacking yourself and then start attacking your problems so that you can attack the world, so you can go on the advance. And this brother right here has been instrumental in helping me with that, so thank you.
Well, and I said that, you know, we had met on kind of a marketing program, learning how to grow our business, you know, or at least to not necessarily in a business growth mindset, but trying to get our information out to people. And we knew there were people that were a little better at that, so we tried to reach out and do that. But one of the things we connected on during that first call as a group was, you know, him saying, I think he said, like, I have 5 business and a ministry. How do I keep my head straight? And I'm like, that's my area. I know, because I have a lot of businesses and we both go 100 miles an hour at all time. This is one of the few people I know I can call at 5 o'clock in the morning. And if he is not completely deaf by playing metal drums for an hour at that time, I can get a hold of him and we can bounce questions.
That's
we do it all
true.
the time. So
Tama, double kick. That's right. Sabian
right.
cymbals.
The right kind of drums.
Yeah,
right?
real metal.
Yeah, and not paid to say that either.
No, it's technical death metal and black metal, man. Fast.
That's right.
360 BPM. Let's do it.
I've seen him do it. So,
Yeah.
so as always, if this sounds like something that you need some help with, or could use some coaching, or just need to get some of that straight, reach out to Bear, reach out to me, theangryvikingtherapist.com, or if you're lazy like me, sometimes avt.help. I think that's way better. That's why I made that one.
That's a great URL. avt.help.
It doesn't get better. Go there, smash that button for get started. Let's get you on the coaching squad and get things going on. I got you. Let's go.